Wonderful. So as we get started today, you'll find yourself in a comfortable seat, Sukhasana, easy seat pose on your mat. And as you begin in this pose, one of the things that I like to call out is in using maybe a block that can be helpful to raise the hips, but you can also try using a blanket. Neither are required, but should you find those helpful, it can help provide that sort of anterior tilt of the pelvis. So I'll start with that blanket here. And when you're ready, just begin to close your eyes. Maybe find one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. And as you breathe in through the nose, fill your belly, fill your chest. Sipping in all that you need. Exhale, side out the mouth. Beautiful. Breathing in through the nose again. Fill up, fill up. Exhale, side out the mouth. Last one here, making it your biggest breath yet. Inhale through the nose. Sip in a little more at the top. Expand the collarbone. Exhale, side out the mouth. Now begin to seal the lips. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just feeling that rhythm, that rise and fall of your belly. As you settle into this practice, into this space, tuning inward on your mat. This week's focus at Practice Indy is Vimarsha. And it is this idea that we are being presented, or the divine is representing itself to itself as us. So thinking that the universe is light and it is refractions, and we are all refracting back that beautiful divinity in ourselves. That if we can find that power in seeing ourselves as divine, that we have the ability to create and develop that self-awareness, honoring ourselves for who we truly are. Continuing to breathe here. Beginning to reach the hands up and over the head on an inhale. Palms will meet. Exhale, find those hands at heart center. Bringing to mind your intention for this practice. Maybe you came here with a very specific purpose today. Getting to your mat. Or this worship and self-devotion. Maybe you're practicing for a loved one or someone that you don't quite know yet or love yet. Whatever it is, whoever it is, calling that to your mind now. Finding that big breath in, allowing the universe into that intention, and then exhaling it, sighing out the mouth, releasing that intention into the universe. Knowing that it will find its way back to you in the time that is right. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Exhale, bring your right hand down by your right side, lifting the left hand up and over to the right. Lateral bend in here. Reaching from the tops of your fingers on the left hand all the way to that left hip. So being mindful to press into that right hand to allow that left hip to seal on the ground. Maybe the gaze looks up and under the shoulder or armpit here. One more breath, inhale and exhale. Inhale reaches you back through center. Exhale, find that left hand down now to plant right hand bicep by the ear. Breathing in. Find that space in that right rib Breathe in here and out. Last one, breathe in, reaching just a little bit further. Exhale to sink into that bend. Inhale reaches you back up. Exhale, begin to fold forward. Maybe you've come down sort of halfway. On this next breath, you're walking those hands out just a little bit further. Your gaze will look to the floor. Maybe your eyes are still closed. But just beginning to find that elongation, that stretch in the neck. Imagining that crown of your head is just shooting forward. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last round here, breathe in. Breathe out. Walking those hands back towards your seat. Reaching the arms up and over the head. We'll find a nice little gentle twist here now. So let's find our right hand back behind us like a second spine. Left hand comes to the right knee. Inhale to reach tall. And exhale to twist over that right shoulder. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Last round here, breathe in. And breathe out. Arms come back up to center. Left hand comes back behind you now. Right hand comes to the left knee. Inhale to reach tall and long. And exhale to release behind you, looking over that left shoulder. Breathe in. And twist a little deeper on the exhale. Finding 2 more rounds of breath on your own here. Breathing in, we'll find our hands up high. Bring them back in front of us. We're gonna come into toe stand as we get settled in before we get into our flow. So removing that blanket or block, bringing the hands out in front of you, almost like you're coming into table, but we're gonna tuck our toes onto the mat. So as you tuck those toes onto the mat, maybe this is enough. Maybe the bottoms of your feet are getting a really good stretch. But if you want another option, you can start to bring your hands down to the mat and really start to press in, or maybe even using your blocks on either side to just get a little bit more of that press. And then if that is not enough for you, the next option I would have is starting to use those fingertips to lift the knees, coming into more of that balancing pose. Or maybe it's just your fingertips still on the ground, or maybe you bring those hands to heart center. And you sort of find that focal point on the floor in front of you that's not moving, that drishti. And take a couple of breaths here. Feeling that stretch along the bottoms of the feet, along the arches. Our feet carry us through so much of our life. Giving them back that little love, that little moment. One more round of breath here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bringing those hands back down. We'll move into puppy pose. So knees come down as well. And we'll start to reach our hands far out in front of us. So your tailbone is to the sky. You're sealing your heart down to the mat. Maybe your chin touches your mat. Mine doesn't quite go that far yet. But really starting to release those armpits down to the mat, giving that nice sort of curve on the spine here, almost like a waterfall from the tailbone down through the neck. Breathe in and breathe out. 2 more rounds. Breathe in and breathe out. Maybe you're starting to feel that belly press against the thighs. Breathe in, last round here. Breathe out through the nose. And as you're ready, walking those hands back, coming into child's pose. So maybe you start to widen those knees, or maybe you keep them more together, allowing your forehead to come to the mat. Breathe in, breathe out. Knowing that this posture is available to you anytime you like, if something I'm calling is not serving you. That this is your place to rest, to reflect. Much of the work we do on our mat brings us to this space of self-awareness. So using this posture as an opportunity to tune in and look more deeply at the self. Coming up to tabletop when you're ready here. Beginning to drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze. Cow pose. Exhale, round the back to the sky cat. So just a couple here as we move into our first flow. Belly comes down on the inhale, gaze looks up. Exhale, round, maybe look toward or to your navel. The last one here, cow pose. And then cat. Starting to tuck those toes, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. Breathe in here on your down dog. This is our first one of the practice. We'll be in down dog a couple of times throughout the practice, but really starting to make this feel good, waking up our hamstrings. Maybe you bend one knee and then the other. Maybe you're more static here, doing what feels really good for you. Breathe in, breathe out, side out the mouth. Maybe you shake your head yes, and then change your mind and shake your head no. And on your next inhale, begin to look toward your thumbs, tiptoe all the way to the top of the mat. Then we'll find ourselves in our first flow. Breathe in, halfway lift, palms to shins, extend the spine, look forward. Breathe out, fold. Bringing those hands out to the sides, look up, reach up. Exhale, dive right back down. Inhale, halfway lift, straighten the spine. Exhale, plant the hands, step your right foot back to the back of the mat. Low lunge. Breathe in, maybe come up onto fingertips. Breathe out, allow the right knee to release, foot to untuck. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. So finding those hips squared to the front of your mat. Arms reach up. It's almost like you're reaching out of the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. Plant the hands. Step your left foot back to meet right plank pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come knees, chest, and chin. Ashtanga Namaskar. Breathe in. Come through the window of the hands. Cobra pose. Breathe out. Tuck your nose, or tap your nose. Tuck your toes. Lift your hips high. Down dog. Breathe in here. And breathe out. Breathe in, lift the right leg high. And breathe out, bring it through the window of the hands, stepping into that low lunge again. Breathe in, shine the heart forward. Breathe out, allow the left knee now to come down, untuck the toe, and reach the arms up, Anjaneyasana on the side. Breathe in. Breathe out, plant the hands, this time allow the left foot to meet right, top of the mat. Forward fold. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, fold. Uttanasana. Breathe in, lift up, reach up, look up. Breathe out, dive back forward. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, step the left foot back this time. Inhale. Exhale, drop the left knee, untuck the toe, Anjaneyasana. Breathe in. Breathe out, right foot meets left, plank pose. Breathe in here in your plank, strong, dial the heels back. Breathe out, knees, chest, and chin. Almost like a little inchworm here. Breathing in comes through the window of the hands, pressing into cobra, keeping those elbows really close to the ribs here. Begin to come through downward facing dog, press back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, lift the left leg high. Breathe out, bring it through the window of the hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Allow the right knee to come to the mat. Anjaneyasana. Breathe out. Bring the hands down. Right foot now meets left at the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Breathe in. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Breathe out. Fold. Breathe in. Arms reach up. Palms meet. Breathe out. Falling right back down. One more round on each side here. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out. Right foot comes back. Breathe in, shine your heart forward. Really keeping those hips squared here. Breathe out, drop that right knee on top of the toe. Lift the arms, Anjaneyasana. Breathe in. Breathe out here. Tuck the toe. Bring the left foot to meet right. Plank pose. Inhale here in your plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin. Breathe in. Come through the window of those hands. Press into the mat. Lift your head, heart, and shoulders. Squeeze the glutes. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Exhale, come down. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, lift the right leg high. Breathe out, knee to nose, bringing it through the window of the hands. Low lunge. Breathe in here. And out. Drop that left knee and tuck the toe. Anjaneyasana. Breathe in. Breathe out. Plant the hands. Tuck that left toe. Step it to meet right. Forward fold. Breathe in. Halfway lift. Breathe out. Fold. Breathe in. Arms reach overhead. Breathe out. Fold right back in. One more side to go. Breathe in. Halfway lift. Breathe out. Plant your hands. Step your left foot back this time to meet right. I'm sorry. Left foot to the back of the mat. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Drop the knee. Anjaneyasana. Breathe out. Plant those hands. Step the right foot back to meet left. Breathe in. Breathe out. Knees, chest, and chin. Breathe in. Slither through. Come through cobra. Press into the hands. Breathe out. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Lift the left leg high. Breathe out. Left foot comes to the top of the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Drop that knee and tuck the toe. Breathe in. Reach up. Anjaneyasana. Last time here. Well, for this part. Breathe out. Plant those hands. This time stepping the right foot to meet left. Forward fold. Breathe in. Halfway lift. Breathe out. Fold. Breathe in. Arms reach up overhead. Breathe out, dive back down. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, fold, stepping back, plank pose. So here in plank, hands are like stars, giving them some room. Dial those heels back, knit your ribs in, make your belly tight, and press the hands away. Breathe in here. Breathe out, press downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Finding some movement in this downward dog. Maybe it's just starting to roll the ankles as we move into our second piece of the flow. Breathe in. Lift your right leg high. Breathe out. Tapping that knee to nose before you set that foot through the window of the hands. Breathe in. Breathe out, drop the knee, untuck the toe. Anjaneyasana. We've been here before. But this time we'll start to bring our hands to heart center. And begin to hook your left elbow outside the left, or so the right knee here. Begin to press into the hands, to look back, to twist back, thinking back to those seated twists here. Breathe in. Breathe out, press and twist from the belly. Bringing out those toxins, our organs here. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you breathe in, begin to open up the arms, awkward twist. Breathe out. Right hand comes down the left leg, left hand comes to the sky, exalting that twist. Breathe in. Breathe out. Cartwheel those arms down. Tuck the back toe. Oops, I forgot. Let's start to walk our hands back. So maybe your block's coming in here, half splits, half Hanuman. So maybe using those blocks as you bring your hands back towards your seat, towards your body. Your toes may point to the sky. Or maybe they stay more in a kind of pointed position. I feel like I get a better stretch when they're flexed here. So maybe using those blocks to begin to fold over that front right leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last round. Breathe in. Breathe out. Maybe setting those blocks to the side or walking those hands back to frame that foot. Now we'll tuck that back left toe. Bring the right foot to meet left. Plank pose here. First time, you can take a flow if you'd like. Otherwise, you can press to downward facing dog. So I will meet you where you would like to be. So we'll start with cobra here. So maybe you bring your knees down, bring your belly and your chest, and press through cobra. We've been here. And then on your exhale, come through downward facing dog. And we'll provide other options as we come back through our flow the second time. Breathe in, lift your left leg high. Breathe out, tuck that knee into your nose, set that foot through the window of the hands. Breathe in, shine your heart forward. Breathe out, drop that knee, untuck the toe. Anjaneyasana. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring the hands to heart center here. And begin to find that right elbow outside the left knee, pressing into the hands and twisting from the belly. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bring it out. Look over that back left shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. This time, breathing in, start to open up into your awkward twist. Right hand comes forward, left hand goes back. Breathe in. Breathe out. Left hand now comes down the back right leg. Right hand comes to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. Cartwheel those arms down. Maybe you find those blocks once again for half splits. Starting to walk ourselves back. Our core kind of comes over that back right thigh or right hip here over that knee. And beginning to find those hands on either side. Starting to surrender over that left leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beautiful. And you're going to set those blocks aside, walking those hands forward. Breathe in here. Breathe out. Tuck that back right toe. Left foot meets right, back in that plank pose here. Again, you take your flow, or maybe follow with me. So beginning to shift shoulders over wrists, then to a 90-degree angle, chaturanga, untucking those toes, pressing into the tops of the feet, lifting into upward facing dog. And then turning those feet back over, downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe try to shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. I don't know if you are sweaty, but I am getting there. So we'll go through this flow one more time and then we'll add on here. This time will be a little bit faster. So let's lift our right foot high. Exhale, draw that foot through the window of the hands. Inhale. Exhale, drop the knee, untuck the toe, lift the arms, Anjaneyasana. Breathe in, bring the hands to heart center. Breathe out, twist, hook that. Left elbow, right knee. Breathe in, find that twist. Breathe out, look over that back right shoulder. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathing in, open to that awkward twist. Left hand comes forward, right hand back. Breathe out, right hand comes down the back leg, left hand comes up. Finding that cartwheel down. Start to walk those hands back, moving into your half splits, whichever way is calling to you. Breathe in, folding forward on the exhale, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Beginning to walk those hands forward, frame that foot. Start to tug that back left toe, right foot moves left. Moving through your flow here, breathe in, maybe you stay in plank. And then shift forward, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, breathe in, breathe out, sigh it through the mouth. Breathe in, lift the left leg high. Breathe out, bring it through, little lunge. Breathe in. Breathe out, drop the knee, untuck the toe, arms come up. Breathe in, hands come to heart center. Breathe out, hook that right hand, or right elbow outside the left knee. Breathe in, stretch long. Breathe out, twist, look over that left shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, lifts you to that awkward twist. Right hand forward, left hand back. Squeeze the glutes and inner thighs, keeping your stability. Breathe in. Breathe out, left hand comes down the back right leg, right hand to the sky. Exalt. Breathe in. Breathe out. Cartwheel the arms down, frame the foot. Begin to walk those hands back, coming into our half Hanuman. Finding that inhale to lift and lengthen the spine. Exhale to fold over, surrender over that left leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out. Walking those hands forward. Tuck the toe, find plank. Breathe in. Let's find ourselves in child's pose. Knees come wide, big toes kiss. Press your forehead into the mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's find our hands coming into a lateral bend. So imagine a clock in your mind's eye and start to walk those hands to 2 o'clock. Left hand coming over that right clock arm. Press into the hands, allow that left hip to come back. So think of that lateral bend we did sitting down, really pressing into the hand to allow that hip to meet the heel if possible. No judgment if it doesn't. Just finding as much length as possible here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, come through center. Now we're gonna find that like 10:30, 11 o'clock time. Allowing the right hand to come up and over that left hand. Pressing into the left hand to release that right hip closer to the heel. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last one, breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come back through center. Maybe you move through table, or maybe you go directly to downward facing dog. Breathe in here in your down dog. Breathe out. Breathe in, lift the right leg high. Breathe out, come to that low lunge. This time, maybe you step your left foot in about 1 foot length, maybe 2. Maybe you find those blocks again. Maybe you don't need them, but we're straightening that front right leg, coming into pyramid pose, or extended pyramid if you choose not to move that foot forward. So when you're ready, similar to half Hanuman, just begin to surrender over, finding as much of a straight back as you can. Think that half lift. And begin to fold over that front right leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Surrender more. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beginning to find those blocks on either side if you chose to use them, bending into that front right leg, setting up for our crescent lunge. So maybe you heel toe those feet to the outer edges of your mat, creating more of a railroad track than a tightrope experience. And when you're ready, lift the arms up overhead. Maybe you bring them down to check your hip alignment. So we want our hips to be squared and centered to the front of the mat. So no dumping in one versus the other. You just find that tactile experience. And lift the arms overhead. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, hands come to heart center. Breathe out, we're gonna hook that heel, kind of in that prayer twist again. Press into the hands, look back over that right shoulder. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, come to that awkward twist. Breathe out, exalt. Breathe in. Breathe out, open up to Virabhadrasana 2. So we're sealing that back foot parallel with the short edge of our mat. We want that front foot to bisect the back foot here. So really finding kind of that alignment first and take up space on your mat. Teach your mind to trust your body, or tell your mind, I can trust myself. Breathe in, open those arms wide. Maybe look toward that front knee. Can you see your big toes? If you can't, start to find that gentle press over to that pinky toe edge side. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, straighten that front leg, lift the right hand down or up to the sky, left hand down the back leg. Breathe in. Breathe out, warrior 2. Breathe in, moving to sky archer, straighten the leg, lift the right hand high. Breathe out, warrior 2. Breathe in, reach high. Breathe out, warrior 2. This time, straighten that front leg and bring that right foot parallel with the left. So moving to a wide leg forward fold here. Bring the arms out wide and then begin to surrender or fall, fly downward. Maybe your hands come to either foot to really pull that crown toward the floor. Maybe you find a twist. Do what feels good here. Maybe your hands reach through. Just really finding your movement, that Leela play. Allowing your authentic self to shine through, to refract back to that greater divinity. That you are divine, perfect, just as you are. One more round of breath here. Finding those hands at shoulder width distance, pressing in that half lift. We'll move to Skandasana pose. So we're going to move toward the right side. We'll begin to find our right foot to a 45-degree toward the front of your mat. And this is more like a side lunge, so I kind of find it easiest to walk over to that side and then begin to allow your booty to come down. Your back toes here, your left toes, might peel and point to the sky. And you may find yourself lifted a little higher. That's A-okay. We're really just looking for that nice long stretch along this left leg here. And we really want to make sure that our knee's not dumping. So press into that forearm, into that well, I guess your bicep, tricep here, into that leg. Really just getting that open stretch here. Breathe in, breathe out. Beginning to bring that left foot to plant. We'll start to walk toward the front. We're coming into pigeon or half pigeon here. So keep that right foot toward that left hand and start to allow that right knee to come down toward the right. If pigeon in this pose is not comfortable for you, you're welcome to find figure 4 on your back, and I'll show that in just a moment. But finding that front leg, maybe at a 90 degree, maybe it's more at 45. The goal is not to get you to 90 degrees, it's to create comfort and sort of that ease and steadiness. So finding those hips though, square to the front of the room, lifting high, and then begin to walk yourself down. Maybe you find that block in front of you conveniently, and it's placed underneath the head. We'll be here for about 7 breaths. A nice, well, stretchy, but catch of your breath here, so to speak. Breathe in, breathe out. Two more rounds of breath. Breathe into those places of tension. Breathe out, let them go. Beginning to find yourself walking back up, planting those hands. Maybe you tuck the back left toe and you find yourself pressing into 3-limb down dog. So 3-limb down dog here. Begin to bring that heel to your glutes, lift the knee to the side. And let's first start with hip circles here. Maybe you move in one direction and then the other, or maybe you just keep it static. Whatever feels best for you. If you want another option, we can move through wild things. So maybe you find that space underneath that left side body, and you kind of envision where you're going to place that right foot before you allow that right foot to come up and over. Planting down, lifting the right hand to the side, or maybe you find that arm coming forward for the front of the mat. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. If you took wild thing, finding that right hand planting, bringing that right foot back up and over and setting it next to left. And then maybe you wiggle those hips side to side. Let's breathe in all together. Inhale. Exhale, side out the mouth. Let's go to the other side. Breathe in, lift the left leg high. Breathe out, bring that knee to nose and set that foot down for the lunge. Breathe in, we'll find ourselves into pyramid. So maybe again, you find that back right foot coming in just 1 foot or 2 foot lengths, 2 feet lengths, I think that's probably better. And then if you got those blocks, you're pressing into those blocks here, maybe they're about at your ankle. And then remember to keep those hips squared here and surrender over on the exhale, over that left leg. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Last one, breathe in, breathe out. Placing those blocks to either side, begin to bend in that left leg. Find that high crescent lunge. So whatever you need to do, heel toning those feet out or widening that stance from front to back. Breathe in, lift up. Breathe out. Breathe in, hands come to heart center. Breathe out, hook that right elbow outside the left knee. Breathe in, reach long. Breathe out to twist. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, lifts you up into awkward twist. Breathe out to exalt. Right hand to the sky, left hand to the back leg. Breathe in. Breathe out, cartwheels you open into your warrior 2. Breathe in. Breathe out, sink in lower. Maybe pull those shoulders up to the ears on the inhale. Exhale, roll them back and down. This energetic movement between the present and the future and the past. And we are right here in this present moment. Breathe in. Breathe out, straighten the leg, lift the left hand high to the sky, right hand down the back leg. Breathe in. Breathe out, warrior two. Breathe in, sky archer. Breathe out, warrior two. Breathe in. Breathe out. We'll straighten that front left leg here. Start to find that wide leg forward fold stance. Maybe this time you clasp your hands behind you. Surrender the heart to the sky, lifting it up, gaze goes up. And then exhale, let the heart guide the way. Arms come up and over the head, opening the shoulders. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Couple more rounds just like that. If you need to unclasp those hands and find a better sort of stance for them, feel free. This is your practice. Breathe in. Breathe out. We'll find those hands planting underneath the shoulders. And we'll start to move into skandasana on this side. So 45-degree angle on the left toes here. And start to walk yourself over to the left side, coming into that side lunge, maybe the right toes lift to the sky. Be sure to press into that knee. Allow the knee to press back into the arm. Maybe your hands stay planted. Maybe they come to heart center. Or if you want to find the bind, you are welcome to find that bind. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last round. Breathe in. Breathe out. Find those hands planting in front of you. And we're starting to walk toward that almost lunge type. So hands come to frame that foot. Except we're going to keep that left foot over toward that right hand. So toes toward that right hand. Coming into pigeon, that left knee is next to the left hand. So when you're ready, when you found that sort of alignment here with that front leg, what feels good, you can look to the back leg. Can you look down it? Or is it kind of like wonky all the way out to the side? Let's try to bring it directly behind that hip. So keeping our hips square. And then fold forward. Again, about 7 rounds of breath here, so settle in. Breathe in. Breathe out. On your next breath in, beginning to walk those hands back to frame that front of your mat, tucking that back right toe, and lifting the knee, pressing into the hands to reach that left foot high to the sky. 3 laying down dog. Find that heel to glute, lift the knee to the sky, opening it up. Maybe those hip circles. Maybe keeping it static here. Or maybe you opt for that wild thing, looking underneath the right side this time and finding that space where you want that left foot to go before you plant it and lift the left leg over, or left hand up and maybe over the head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beginning to bring that left hand to plant. Left foot comes back up and over, and then set it next to the right. Breathe in. Breathe out. Beginning to look to the thumbs, start to walk those hands to the top of your mat. Breathe in, halfway lift. Breathe out, fold back in. Breathe in, hands come up and over the head. Breathe out, hands come to heart center. We'll start to heel toe our feet to the edges of your mat. So toes are off, heels are on, likely. We're moving to Yogi Squat. Inhale, reach the crown of the head to the sky. Exhale, begin to sink into your Yogi Squat. Maybe finding that block underneath your sits bones, if that is comfortable for you. Or maybe you're able to allow the root to sink into the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last round, breathe in. Breathe out. Beginning to remove that block or come all the way to the mat. Allowing the feet to come forward. Maybe giving them a little shake. We'll breathe in, lift our arms high to the sky. Breathe out, fold halfway. Breathe in, just lift slightly. And breathe out, fold all the way down. Konasana. This pose sets us up for our peak pose of the week, which is upavishta konasana. So it's a wide leg, angled forward fold. It's a mouthful. Taking a couple of rounds here just to sink into this space. When you're ready, starting to walk those hands back up toward your seat, and we'll settle into our peak pose. So it's helpful in this pose to use your blanket. I think a bolster, I know if you've got a pillow, maybe it's squishy enough, but really wanting to find the hips elevated just a little bit so we can tilt them. That anterior tilt of the pelvis is really key in this pose. So finding that blanket or maybe that little squishy pillow underneath you, underneath that seat there. In starting this, and I'll show an alternative pose as well, but in starting this, we'll bring our feet out long as we've had them. Then begin to bring your hands back behind you and just start to gently release your back backward. Start to open up the legs here, maybe to this almost a 90 degree if you can. It's very possible that that might not happen. Our legs are pretty tight. We're sitting in chairs often. So just be gracious with yourself. Maybe reaching them out just a little longer, scooting your booty forward. And then when you're ready, beginning to find those hands out in front of you, maybe you can tip that pelvis forward. Start to roll those toes to the sky. We want our knees pointing directly to the sky. The outer hips are going to be rotated and grounded on the floor. And we'll start to reach forward. So you'll definitely feel this in the hamstrings. I'm feeling this in the inner thighs, not that that means anything, but you might be feeling it in another spot too. So this is one way to capture this pose. If this is not working for you, let me offer something up the wall. And that might be really helpful too. So if you've got a wall nearby, maybe you try this instead. You can again bring the blanket underneath your booty here. I like to find my side all the way up to the wall and then kick my legs up. And then sort of move yourself in, scoot yourself in. Same thing here, opening up the legs and then starting to rotate the outer thighs down. So you can get the same stretch. I know you're not hoisting yourself forward, but you can get the stretch there. So allowing this to be that stretch, if that feels better. And finding this posture for about 5 rounds of breath. This pose was chosen not only because it's symmetrical, but we've been talking a lot about almost the Lion King. I don't know if you read the newsletter this week, but that moment in the Lion King where Rafiki shows Simba who he really is a piece of the greater lineage, the piece of the greater whole. And he finally comes to that self-awareness of what his purpose and mission, what his dharma is. So in this way, looking down at the floor, envision yourself looking in a mirror. And staring back at you is this beautiful, exquisite being on this journey toward self-awareness, toward wholeness. Breathe in, begin to walk those hands back up. Closing those legs, maybe you're offering kind of a gentle assist with the hands. And then kind of shaking those legs out as well. Finding that sort of C curve in the spine, allowing the hands to come out in front of you as if holding onto a beach ball. And then rolling yourself down, vertebrae by vertebrae. Reaching the arms up overhead. And finding that hug into the chest. Rocking side to side. And then beginning to place that right foot next to the right corner of your mat, left foot to the left corner. One hand can come back on the belly, one on the chest, or maybe your hands just come out to either side. Knowing that you've done such great work, you've not only shown up to this practice, but you've been committed. And you've continued on the journey toward that self-awareness, toward Vimarsha. All that's left to do now is to surrender and let go. I'll be with you for the next few minutes. But rest knowing that you are here, you're worthy, and you are perfect just as you are. Breathe in, feel the belly rise. Breathe out, feel the belly deflate. Breathe in, fill, fill, fill. Breathe out, Release. As you begin to come back to the awareness of the sounds around you, maybe the temperature on your skin. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Maybe that fire catches and you start to roll your wrists and your ankles. Before allowing that to find greater movement, reaching the hands up over the head, stretching fingertips to toe tips. On your exhale, drawing those knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice tight squeeze of love, of gratitude. Before tipping over to one side, honoring this pose, Bija, seed pose, that represents the opportunity to begin again, to begin to see ourselves as part of this greater whole, as part of the divinity from which we came. Pressing into the hand, lifting up to a comfortable seat, a seat to sit tall. Arms will reach up and overhead, keeping the eyes closed. Bring those hands into heart center. Bowing your chin into your chest. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me, for allowing me to share my practice with you. May all those we know and love, and those that we don't yet know and love, may they be happy, healthy, safe, and free, and may they walk through the world with ease. Bringing your thumbs to your forehead center, that space of intuition. May with greater knowing, we realize how magic we are, that we are like the stars. Bowing forward to seal your practice. Namaste.